So here we have a web to print product. In Hexicom, we call these editable products. And as you can see, this is a business card and it's all nice and organized. So it's got all the fields filled out. So this looks good here. Everything's aligned. So let's say, for example, though, you didn't have one of these fields filled in. So maybe you don't have a job title 2. If I was to delete that, then you'll see now we've got this blank area between these fields. So ideally, we'd want this to move up to fill the gap. And it would work the same way for some of these other ones in an ideal world where, let's say you don't have a telephone number, we would want this mobile field to move over here to the left to fill the space. So we can do that in Hexicom, and we call that our grouping function. So let me show you how to set that up. So if I just go to the back end, then here's our template here. Here's all of our fields. They're all pulling from the database. That's why they have these hash marks in front of all the fields. So in order to do the grouping, what I like to do first is actually click on the bottommost field of this vertical group I want to set up. You'll see where this comes into play in a second, but basically now I can see the X and Y coordinate of that. So to set up the groups, you just go to Manage Group. It'll give you this pop-up here. Since we don't have any groups, it's just telling us we need to add one. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to call this our name field, or group rather, and let's go add, and so I can see my positioning there. So I'll just put that in here. So let's give it some space between the fields as well. Alignment's fine. And then over here on the right, we tell it what kind of group we want this to be. So we'll say this is a vertical group, and we want these fields to move up. So all that's set up. So let's just go save and close. Go back to my product, hit refresh. So let's try removing one of these fields. So let's get rid of our job line 2. Then you'll see that move up to fill the space. So these fields here might not all be necessary either. This is an address with 4 lines. Not everybody uses 4 lines, so let's set up a group to handle that as well. So again, I'm going to pick the bottommost one of this vertical group, go to Manage Group, let's go Add New, and go Address. So we're going to want the company and all of these address lines here. I'm going to use my positioning there. And then let's keep that with the same spacing. So again, this is a vertical group. Move up, save it, see how this looks. All right, let's try getting rid of address line 2. You'll see that move up right there. So now let's do these down at the bottom. So this one's going to be slightly different, but still basically the same thing. So let's just see what our X and Y coordinates are. So there we go. So let's add a new group here. Call these the phone numbers. Let's go telephone number and mobile. Then same spacing. So now this is slightly different. So we're going to say we're going to make this a horizontal group. Save and close. All right, so let's get rid of our telephone. There we go. You can just check these are all working correctly. And there we go. So that's grouping. Basically, it just lets you move fields up if there's no information in the field.